So you've done some research and you decided that for your next car, you're going to get a used BMW. Good choice. You're going to save yourself a ton of money versus buying new or leasing. But when you go to the dealership or the private seller to inspect the car, here's a couple things to look for just to make sure that you're getting the best deal and you're going to get a good, reliable car. Alright, so the first thing that you want to look for is leaks. And don't bother looking under the car because BMWs have this plastic cover on the bottom for aerodynamics and also to kind of keep the engine bay clean. But what happens is if something's leaking, whether it's coolant or washer fluid, it all kind of pools up inside that cover and you might not even see it leaking onto the ground at all. So what I recommend is open up the hood. Usually it kind of pools up on the driver's side near where the fog light is, and just take a flashlight, look down in there and see if you see any fluids kind of pooling up. A lot of upscale used car dealerships that sell BMWs and Mercedes, they really like to detail the engine bay really good so that it looks spotless inside. So they may have cleaned off something that's leaking. So I recommend go for a test drive, drive the car for like 20 minutes or however long it takes to really warm up, and then go and check and see if you have any coolant leaking out. Alright, so the next thing that you can do is look at the built-in service settings, and that shows like when the brakes need to be done, when the oil needs to be changed, things like that. You can kind of go through that menu and just look at what's been done, what needs to be done, what's coming up as far as maintenance. Now obviously any dishonest person or dishonest dealership could go through and reset all those prior to you coming. So don't use that as your only baseline for how the car's been maintained, but it's just another thing that you can look at when you're trying to make the decision on what car to get. So to access the service menu, it's the top stalk on the left of the steering wheel. Just press it down twice to get into service information, and then use this button here to kind of scroll through and see all the different settings. Alright, this one's kind of obvious, something that you would do with any car, but it's especially true on a car like this where the maintenance is really expensive and the parts are expensive. It's to just really thoroughly walk around the car and make sure that everything works. Headlights, brake lights, turn signals, press all the buttons inside the interior, make sure that the heat and everything works. On mine I had this issue recently where the fan that blows the heat and the air conditioning went out, and that was a couple $100. I think it was like $500 to have that replaced. So you really need to make sure, press every single button inside here and make sure that everything's working properly, because you don't want to spend a bunch of money financing a car and then immediately have to spend more money fixing it. Alright, so another thing that you're going to want to look at is the tire wear. Because a lot of BMWs come with run flats, they're really expensive to replace. So you don't want to finance this car, like I said before, and then immediately have to go out and spend $800 or $1,000 on new tires. So check the tire wear, make sure they've got plenty of tread on them. Now you don't have to get run flats like what I did when I got my new wheels. I just got regular non-run flat tires. But keep in mind that the cars that are equipped with run flats, they don't come with a spare or a jack or any tools. So make sure that you get a spare tire and a jack. That way you don't leave yourself stranded if something ever happens. Alright, another thing that you can do, really simple, just make sure that the car comes with 2 keys. Brand new, they're sold with 2 keys. You have your main key and your spare key. They're very expensive to have replaced or remade at the dealership. So just make sure that the one that you're buying comes with both of those keys. That way you don't have to worry about one getting lost. Alright, so just some basic wear and tear stuff that I've seen with my own car. All the plastic in here has a rubberized coating, which gives it more of an upscale feel. But unfortunately, the rubberized coating can wear off, especially areas that your hands are touching it a lot, like around the center console on the door handles. So just kind of check that. If you're the type of person that's OCD about having like a perfect interior, make sure that it's not scuffed or anything, because that's not something that can just easily be fixed. Owning a used BMW can be really rewarding because you're getting a really nice, expensive luxury car for a fraction of the cost of what the original owner paid. Just be careful, do your research, do your homework, and you know what they say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's especially true with used luxury cars. You know, you see an M5 on Craigslist, it's a $100,000 car and they're selling it for 10 grand. That should be a red flag, so just be careful. If you've got any advice for buying a used luxury car, especially a BMW, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll have more videos out soon, and I'll see you in the next one.